team that's going to be pretty fired up this weekend.
Yeah, another first for us going on the road in the Southeastern Conference. We've had a first road trip, first road midweek, home series against Texas A&M last weekend. This will be our first road SEC series. Yeah, I'm sure Arkansas will be ready to go, like always, well coached, great atmosphere. And then Dave Jordan, I always try to give him love, the pitching coach. He's been so good to me over the years and does a great job. But like I've always said, we're more concerned about where we are and what we're doing. And hopefully we keep playing great offense. I think we take confidence in from that side. And this is a great opportunity as a head coach right now to get with our pitching staff. And, we've been working hard all week to get back out there and pitch good. Tuesday started something positive for us, a 2-hit shutout against a very offensive, historical, Alabama State team, Coach Melendez. But this is an opportunity to go out and, probably this weekend will be completely different than last weekend. So this will be a series we're excited about. For us to, from where we're at and what we've played so far this year, we've got to make a move at some point. We've got a long way to go with 9 SEC weekends, but I'd like for us to, get on that column and win a series, and that's our intention going to Fayetteville this weekend.
Would mean pitching change?
No, we're going to stay the same. I think there's going to be some changes that you'll see. We want to stay, again, just like we talked about with some of our guys in our lineup. We'll apply the same methodology to our pitching staff and probably go with the same 3 starters. So that's Kemp, Mize, and Lipscomb. I do think you'll see some changes that already started on Tuesday. With Bramer getting a start Tuesday, I think you'll see some changes in our bullpen on how we use some pieces. Maybe how we get out of the middle of an inning. You might see some guys that can get ready quicker to come in, try to get out of an inning, and then guys that historically started. If you used a Bramer on Sunday, we could use him different ways. But of Mitchell that's been starting, maybe we try to provide a clean inning for him if he comes in relief. So we may do something different in those starts. And then the elephant in the room, as far as who's going to finish a ball game, we'll still wait till we get to the end of the game. I think we got 1 save the other day just for the number of innings that were pitched. So we got off the schneid there and got the 1 save. But Klobuchar is a guy that definitely had a good appearance for us last weekend and should be fresh and ready for the beginning of the weekend. That puts Andrew Mitchell back in the bullpen situation, and a Bramer potentially on Sunday. So we'll just line back up, stay with the same starters, and see if we can't, if I can't do a better job of putting our guys in a position of success. So we're trying to be really positive with our pitchers, trying to find a couple of adjustments we could make and try to realign the pen and try to have better starts, and understanding this weekend will be different than last.
You had some lineup changes in the midweek game. Was that just for that game? Will you go back to what your lineup's been?
Hitting's hard. Hitting's one of those deals where you need at bats to continue to stay on time,
right,
so to speak. I thought 2 weeks ago Jackson Bergerine had really come on and swung the bat well. We paid attention to that. He got in the lineup, really helped us, I thought, offensively for a weekend. So he's still there and helps us. Last week Melvin Gray had been one of those guys, and we waited till Tuesday instead over the weekend to insert him. I thought that was a really dynamic double play there at the end of the game to preserve the shutout that he started. We had the 4-6-3 double play, so we want to keep him going. He had 3 hits and a couple of them were singles, but at the same time they were middle of the field and good approaches. So I felt good about us, what we saw in practice and his preparation showed up in a ball game. The way I view that, we're back to those 10, 11, 12 pieces that we started before the season, and it'd be nice if Melvin could offer some of that if we ever, have a bad wheel or, a bad leg or banged up in the middle of the field. But, he allows Jordan to DH that he did the other day. We got Buenteo and Robert playing a little bit. You got Daniel still helping us in the outfield. It looks like the rest of the pieces are still, we'll probably still stay the same. Cody Nuff, we just kind of gave him a rest the other night. I think Hacker got 1 or 2 hits and played a solid shortstop, so I thought that was good for us, and we wanted to give Cody a rest. But very little movement, but you could see a little bit of doing some things at second base from a defensive standpoint with Gray playing a lot better than last week.
Well, you could go back to Jordan DH and Gray at second and weekend.
You could, or Buenteo. We want all of them. DHing's hard. I mean, that's a hard job. jump to professional baseball for a minute. For a guy just a DH, and between at bats, he's not really in the frame or involved in those 9 outs in between at bats. That's a different mentality. So if we can keep somebody DH and somebody playing, and the next day maybe you got Buentello, Robert. The next day you got Bergreen, Robert. You got Gray and Ebert. That may be the way that we want to attack this deal, because if somebody just turns into permanent DH, that's a tough job just to get hits when you're not playing.
How do you look at Arkansas right now, Butch? Is it kind of scary for what their pitching is right now, and kind of everybody in the league kind of waiting for that light bulb to go on and hope that it doesn't happen against them?
That's right. You'll go to human nature side first, and you just hope you catch what you know is a good ball club with good coaches. You catch them at the right time, but you can't live your life hoping it's always going to work out. You catch people at the right time. I'm still more interested in us, but what jumps out to me is, I've seen Taccolini for the last couple of years. A couple of those other guys, Keith McKinney. I know how good that arm is and how quick that arm is, so I know what they're capable of doing as well. I hope they respect us to know what a Camp and a Lipscomb can do. They haven't seen mine, but they have 25 home runs. That's pretty significant. I think that may lead our league in home runs. So if we don't make some adjustments, if we make pitches out over the plate and at the catcher's mask like we did last weekend, they've shown the capability of losing those baseballs. So we got to definitely execute better than we did on the mound. But I still go back to I'm really staying focused on us and our growth and development. And number 2 is whoever executes the game the best is probably going to win this series. And so we're matched athletically because Arkansas is a great program and on the road in the SEC. But I do think that we have a chance to match up against them.
Can you talk about your first and second hitters, just how dynamic they have been and everything they bring to your lineup, Joshua and Anthony?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been amazing. I'm really trying to see, and it's still so early, but at times this little stretch here has been as good offense as I can remember being a part of. As an assistant coach, as anything in my time in the 15th year in the SEC, that's as good a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. I'll extend it to 4 hitters as I've seen. And just Anthony can play games a different way. When he's got a hit streak and you still know he can run, you still know he's hitting for a little power this year, you still know with 2 strikes he can make contact and have a competitive at bat. It's pretty complete. And then this little run by Palacios is just as bad as good as I've seen. I think he's really gained the attention of our league, professional baseball, the Auburn people. I just think he's really captured college baseball in the last week and a half with the way he swung the bat. So,
yeah, when you went through your slump there, the hitting slump, 4 or 5 games, and you were optimistic the whole time. You said it's gonna come around.
Yeah.
You look at it now, is it kind of hard to believe how much it's come around? Everybody's doing what they're capable of doing, and I think we'll still have some. We'll have a day that's a challenge. Hitting's hard, but like I said, I think at that time I made the statement. I think it'll be the strength of our ball club. So carrying it on out and that being an identity of our ball club is important to us because it's good. Those are good players. Our pitching staff can be better. And in 2 weeks, we could be having totally different conversations. But that's what I think. Can we figure something out on the pitching side to get us going? And can we continue to try to improve? Gray's an opportunity. You're glad that he's starting to practice well, get some confidence, and get playing to get him out there because I think he improves our defense. Our pitching and defense is important to us if we want to have successful instead of going through a whole year of like, hey, we got this great offense, but fighting and struggling to win games. If we can improve just 5% in some other areas, we'll play good team baseball. Talk about Gray, and you talk about the top 4 hitters, one of which is the other guy playing second base. Is that kind of a tricky thing, how to deal with that, to get him in there?
No, we're not going to force anything. I just think the more pieces we have, the more options we'll have as we go through, 27 more SEC games. So I want all of our guys to be playing at their best. I think it's a good problem to have more than you can put on the field playing at their best. I'm going to call that a sincere positive for us.
Do you have to take more of a hands-on approach with Cole and Camp right now, or do you kind of let them still work with Greg and do what they're doing and see if that's going to turn around?
We're trying to do both. I think I'm trying to inject a little bit more in the plan, coming out of talking about not swinging it well. I feel like as a head coach, I swung up here like, how can I serve you? How can we get it going again?
Right.
And then conversely, you're kind of just trying to run and try to help as much as you can. I want to support those guys. I think Camp's pitched in our league before, and Lipscomb's pitched in our league, and Greg's been in our league. I trust those guys, so I don't have any blink of waverness on that. But I have went to them. I have watched their bullpens closely. I have interjected, a couple adjustments. We'll see how it plays out this weekend. But I want everybody to continue to do their job, because that's the kind of leader I want to be, is to try to. It's been more of a servant leadership with these guys than, hey, we got to do this, and my name's on this kind of deal. I trust in these guys. I just went and offered my full support on what do you got here, what questions you have, how can I help. So that's the way I've tried to deal with them